Yo, what's good? It's Skano. Hey, you probably could be blocking your own blessings. Uh, Trying to fit in. You know you don't fit in. You know you different. Other people can tell you different. It's just something about you. That's why people hate on you, and you can't figure out why. People that have, more money than you, it seems that they have more going on in their life, you know, but yet and still they hating on you, watching you, There's something about you, something about your energy that's different. And you've never really fit in. You try, you know. You used to try, because we all, start off that way, wanting to fit in somewhere, but face it, own it, embrace it. You different. You don't fit in. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know. But you're trying to fit in. You hanging in social circles that really, it's not you. You know it's not you. They even know it's not you. You know. But trying to fit in. There's nothing wrong with standing alone. Some people meant to walk alone. Some people meant to travel this path alone. Some people just cannot function on the same frequency as everybody else. And it's not that you try to be different. You don't try to be standoffish or, it's just what it is. You couldn't figure it out for a long time, though. Why you always felt like, people are watching you, or you come around and people, their energy change, There's something about you that's different, and you may have tried on different shoes, and walked in those shoes and you knew them shoes wasn't fit out for you, God has a different plan. See, we got ideas of what we want to do with our lives and what we should be doing with our lives and our purpose. And a lot of us just haven't figured out we on the wrong path. That's not what God meant for you to do. That's not who God meant for you to hang out with or be around or associate with. Maybe that's why you don't have many friends. Maybe that's why you just don't connect with people. And they can sense it. It's because you don't fit in. God got a different path for you, a different purpose. And a lot of us be blocking our purpose. We get caught up in different things, maybe drugs, alcohol, certain lifestyles that take us farther and farther away from our paths. And you may have success, monetary success, but you still feel empty. You still feel like, you haven't accomplished fulfillment. Even though you have these things, you ain't fulfilling your purpose. I understand. Trust me, I understand. So, don't try to figure out why you don't fit in. It may not be for you to understand. Some things we cannot understand. But embrace it. Embrace it. Because you're different. See, a lot of people want to act like they're unique and like they're, they stand alone, they are unique, but most people, 99% of people really are the same. They are. People just like to give off an air of, but most people really are the same, but you are not. And you could always feel that. And it used to frustrate you, maybe even depress you. You just can't figure out why you do not fit in anywhere. You weren't meant to fit in. you know. And if you understand these things, it may be that God has a different purpose for you, and you are blocking that. You're blocking your blessings. You're blocking your true purpose. Because people that God have anointed and put their hands around and set out for a certain purpose, it's not going to be, it's a small percentage of the world. You know, you built different, you think different, you wired different, you had to be different in order for God to use you as the instrument that he needs to use you as. You had to be cut different, because if you were like everyone else, you would not be useful to him. You know what I'm saying? For this particular purpose. So, and it's not, you know, trying to sound divine or sound like, you know, you're better or above anyone. It's just what it is, man. That's why you don't fit in. You know, there's nothing wrong with you. You know. So, embrace it. Embrace it. And once you embrace that and realize that there are certain people, you know, the people are just not going to be understand what type of frequency you on, man, because they, you know, they setting it is on something completely, but it is something about you that draws people to you yet and still. You may be the type of person that don't even want friends, not because you have an attitude, probably you're just cool, you know, solo dolo, but people are drawn to you. You stay to yourself, you're quiet, you know, yet and still people are drawn to you. The haters and admirers both. It's something different about you. You've always known it. And see, people will downplay it. They know it too. But see, they're jealous of that energy, man. They are. They envy that. And like I said, they could have more than you financially, economically, you know. But they don't have that. You can't buy it, what I'm talking about. And if you know, you know. So, like I said, embrace it, man. And don't be afraid to walk alone. Don't be afraid to cut people out of your life that ain't on the same frequency, that they ain't headed where you headed. And sometimes it's a lonely life, man. It's a lonely life when you have a certain purpose that maybe you haven't even figured it out yet, but God is removing people from your life. It may be a job. It may be an environment, you know, a spouse, your kid. God will remove them from your life so you can focus on your purpose. And it's going to be painful at first. It's going to be some lonely times. You're going to question yourself at times. You know, what is it? What's going on with me that is God removing that out of your life, man? Because it ain't serving the purpose. And he preparing you for what's to come. You know, so like I said, man, embrace it, you know, because you're meant for something different. You different, and you always knew you were different. 216 Skano, you already know.